Hi there, it's Kevin with Gathering Magic with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Still in the mode of saying GatheringMagic.com. Here with a match with a black-white Enchantments deck that we've done pretty successful with on Playing a Budget. You can go check those out at GatheringMagic.com or their YouTube channel. This is definitely keepable hand. We have the Blood Cursed, we have Silkwrap, Suspension Field, and we can play a Shambling Vent first turn. Bloodstained Mire could be a bazillion different decks. And again, at this point, the other tap land come into play. Gain us that life. And hey, we're up 2 points of life difference on turn number 2 without casting any spells. So this looks like it might be an aggressive red, a Tarka red. Nope, black-red could be the thing. Or this could be Jeskai black. And I think that we just keep up the Stasis Snare rather than just throw out the Blood Curse Knight. Because I think Blood Curse would just die here to a Wild Slash. I'd rather have it be a 4-3 immediately. See if a Canopy Vista, or Cinderglade. Cinderglade, we know it's at least Jund. And the longer he lets me establish, the better, because if I just get one more card, I can throw out the Sigil and then start getting advantage. I'm thinking Gideon might be a nice card for this deck. And he just Wild Slashes me. Perfect. Perfect. I'll take that any day. So it's going to be Drano, which I think is the most awful card in the entire... This card here, let me just explain this card why I don't like it. It is Flying First Strike, 2/3 for 3 mana. Okay, sure. It deals combat damage player, put a +1 counter on each attack and creature control. There are so many ifs with Drana. First of all, you have to have enough creatures to make your work. So yes, Whirling Outbursts and Dragon Fodders. Yeah, this guy works alright. Or she works fine. But then she has to connect. So she has to connect to get advantage out of her. She doesn't get advantage when she immediately comes out. And in this format, Silkwraps, Fire Impulses, Complete Disregards, Touch of the Void, all kill her. I just don't think that this card is viable right now. And people just continue to play. I mean, it works really well when it connects, but I'm not even a Stasis Snare here. I'm just going to Suspension Field. Or Silkwrap at this point, I think. Yeah, we'll Silkwrap. And then we can just chuck out the Starfield next turn unless there's something that I really, really think is going to win him the game by not giving me a turn to cast like another Stasis Snare Suspension Field. Yeah, that's fine. Because Sigils block those really well. So I am going to be taking some damage. I hope he gives me another target. Well, we can Suspension Field here. Might as well. Takes 3 damage to do so. But we get a 4/4 that he has to deal with. Which, he can't Crackling Doom. He's a Jund. But that's fine. I'm actually going to keep up Stasis Snare. There's no point. We have a huge Quarantine Field that can get multiple targets. And we have a 4/4 Angel he has to deal with. Yeah, I don't care about Zergu. And another Thunderbreak Regent, which will Quarantine Field these. Yeah, I think it's worth it to quarantine field both of them. Down to a 10. And he just scoops. Okay, I think you can top deck your way out of it with like a Kolaghan. I'm sure there's like Kolaghan makes me think that this is going to be having Hordeling Outbursts and Dragon Fodders in here. But we have a nice sideboard for this particular deck. Surge of Righteousnesses. We actually have Transgress the Minds. We can bring in Virulent Plague. So here's a little difference to the deck tech here. Utter Ends are even fine. Planar Outburst. The entire deck just gets a huge boost. I think I might bring in Blood Curse Knights. I think he didn't see anything, so he might. Even Citadel Sieges are good. I'm going to take out a Starfield and possibly the Quarantine Fields. I need to go up and count to Quarantine Fields. They're that good of cards. Silkwraps and Suspension Fields seem like they get rid of enough. Same as Stasis Snares. I think I will get rid of the Read the Bones. I don't want to be taking any unnecessary damage. But even Transgress the Mind gets rid of some very key cards. Utter End, I'm not sure if I need. Wasteland Strangler. Wasteland Strangler actually seems kind of weird against his deck. I don't know if it kills enough. We'll go down to a 2 of. I think I do want a Planar Outburst in here. Maybe the Transgresses can go down to like a 2 of. I'm not sure. We'll keep a Panic Button with Planar Outburst. Silkwrap. Mythrealized can go down to a 2 of as well. I actually don't really like Mythrealized in this match as much as I think. I think you should play the control route and just rely on Sigil. That we can even bring in a Planar Outburst and another Utter End rather than Mythrealized. Transgresses. I could even take Blood Curse Knights completely out if we're thinking he has any sort of removal. But Blood Curse helps us stabilize. Helm of God still seems fine to hook up. I don't know. There's really no bad cards here in this lineup.
We
had the Planar Outburst and a Suspension Field and a Suspension Field. I think we keep this. An early aggro can be problematic, but we can take care of... The Planar Outburst can take care of any sort of his Hordeling Outburst token strategy if he's going that. So I'm thinking, like, how the deck is built, how I'd build a black-red with... If I saw a Drana, is I would definitely... And black-red with more dragons, I would definitely do Kolaghan and... Yeah, we saw Zurgu. So I'm thinking cards like Zurgu, Dragon Fodder, Hordeling Outburst, Drana, and then the... Yeah, then Kolaghan to be kind of a win condition. So here I think maybe a Dragon Fodder will come out. No, it's going to be a Slide Runner. So I can't Suspension Field this one. This guy's going to get in there for some damage before I can deal with it. Not a fetch land, so it's just going to be 3. Can you imagine played a Geopede in this format? I guess it'd be the exact same 3 damage right there, but... It's a Quarantine Field. We might just need to run out this Blood Curse Knight. Make him use a Wild Slash unless he took him out. No, I think we're fine. We'll just pass. Taking 3 again. And no play. I need to draw land for a Planar Outburst. Perfect. We could Quarantine Field it if I care about taking any more. But I don't think I do. We'll let him overextend and then Planar Outburst. Love for him to play like a Kolaghan here. But maybe he's just happy doing 2 damage. Nah, we'll definitely Planar Outburst. Can I go Sigil or do I just die to a... If I go Sigil and he plays Kolaghan, dashed in, that's 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage. I think I have to Planar Outburst. Still take 5 if he just dashes in Kolaghan. Though we would have died, so I made the right call. And here, we'll just Suspension Field on Kolaghan. And I do believe we run out the Blood Cursed. It survives a Wild Slash. We hook it up to the Helm. It's a 5/4. If it even connects one time, we gain some very needed life. Flame like Phoenix, which I actually can't do anything against that. Ish. He can roast the Blood Cursed. Now he can't. We can strangle the Flamekin. Which I think the first things first, we just hook up the Helm. And then attack in. Yeah, this life is going to be too much for him to overcome. And then we'll strangle him. So what do we lose rotation? Lose Suspension Field. But for the majority of everything else sticks around. Sticks around, sticks around, sticks around, sticks or doesn't stick around. Okay. Still 3 cards in his hand. You can go like a Dragonlord of Tarka. Not quite yet. It's 1 land off. And Tarka couldn't actually wipe our board. Yeah, Languish is fine. It's both our guys did their job. And if you have 6 or more, he gets a 5/5. So the better play is actually a Sigil here, rather than Quarantine Fielding it. Because he gets a 5/5 and thinks he's in pretty decent shape, and we'll just get rid of both of them. And give ourselves a 4/4. Oh yeah, he can return back as Flame like Phoenix. That's annoying. But Flamix can be pretty weak against a 4/4 Angel. So I'm going to be taking 3 damage here. Watch him become immense and Teamer Battle Rage me. With his last 2 cards in hand. Yeah, what is the green in here for? Down to a 14. No need for a Strangler. Well, no use. We can't even use it, so. 5, 6. So, Quarantine Field. Puts out a 4/4. And boom, boom. Do you know what? A Suspension Field and a Wasteland Strangler might have been better. No, we didn't have anything to exile. There is the Drain again, which I think is just really bad. We can Quarantine Field both of them. Yeah, that has to attack, actually, so... I guess if he has a Wild Slash, he can use it to kill it. Oh, yeah, that's not the best. You know, Become Myths is probably in this deck. Ugh, I hate that combo. Hate that. But it doesn't... I mean, that was just a... No damage just to kill off an Angel. And Drana even dies to Suspension Field. Jeez. Whatever, he just scoops here. Because we can go Blood Cursed and have a huge 8/7. Blood Cursed, and there's the concession. So the deck still continues to perform very well. Let's take a look at the deck tech really quickly. So I'm still messing around with what this deck wants. Like, I thought about Self-Inflicted Wounds in the sideboard, but Silkwrap kind of does the job for Self-Inflicted Wounds. White, it still takes care of white and green, but those are two colors that I think that we actually have a lot of... We're pretty good against because Stasis Snare, Silkwrap. So Dromoka's Command's kind of weird, but Myth Realize plays the role of... Comes out early and you can sack it if you need to, over sacking something that has a guy underneath. And then the Wasteland Stranglers are really good. Like, another card I'm definitely thinking about putting in is a Quarantine Field over, like, a Suspension Field main board, or even over an Utter End. The problem with, like, I just think the Quarantine Field is better than Utter End because it triggers off more things than Utter End does. Utter End is basically just a panic button card in here for, like, Gideon. But over, like, Wasteland Strangler, I think we'll just keep one in the sideboard and we'll keep 3 Quarantine Fields in the main board. Wasteland Stranglers are almost to the point where we want them main board because of the Dromoka's Command implication. We can actually cast it and exile that card underneath. So against green-white, we have a very great matchup against green-white. I thought about another finisher. Gideon in here. Gideon or Retreat to Maria might need to come in. Retreat's just a lot worse without the fetch lands, and we're not running any fetch lands in this deck. It is just all regular lands. So let's just take a look at what rotates. Yeah, none of this was going to rotate. So Dragons in Origins is safe. We'll lose the Citadel Siege, and Reed was in Origins, and a Suspension Field. Yep, and the entire deck. Caves sticks around because it was in Origins. Shambling Vent sticks around, and the Barrens were not in... Were they in Dragons? I can't remember if they were just in Fate or if they were in all 3 of them. I'm thinking they were only in Fate and Con, so we do lose the Barrens, but we pick up... I'm sure we'll pick up another fixer. White-black Tango Land. So, yeah, this deck is so solid. It's not going to rotate for a long time. It's good to go. So anywho, this has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.